Hello everyone, Manawanadoole. Claudine again here. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. I know I didn't deliver perfume review for many months now. And trust me, it was not because I didn't want to, but it was just time-wise a bit tight. And I'm really happy to deliver this one today because I would like to review 7 perfumes that don't have much in common because they are ranging from floral scent, tobacco heavy, or I don't know what else do we have here. Very fruity, but the things they have in common that, first of all, they have been really surprising me in terms of experiences wearing them. If I compare how I heard about these perfumes and how I'm wearing them, there's a little bit of discrepancies there. They're from different price range. They are different scent profiles. They are all wearable in springtime. And we are still in spring, at least in Switzerland. So I said, why not sharing those? I think for a start, I would like to go with my most favorite from this range of the 7 perfumes, but also my probably most loved rose perfume. And this is Rose Elixir from Montale. This perfume has been really surprising to me because I didn't expect it to be that appreciated by me. Let me explain myself. I saw that it was compared to Miss Dior Chérie, the one that is discontinued. To be honest with you, I had a little bit of fear of missing out. I was not yet collecting perfumes back then. Then I said, yeah, I would like to know what it is. And when I look at the prices of a Dior perfume, I do not think they are worth the price. If I'm gifted one of them, of course I will take it, I would wear them. But I do not feel ready to pay the price for what they are offering because they're usually not long-lasting. I don't know what's going on here, but this one is really long-lasting. It's loud, it's performing, and it has taught me to appreciate a little bit more the rose perfumes. It's so feminine, so juicy. It has rose, strawberry, citrus, vanilla, musk, and amber. But to me, what is coming out the most is the rose, not in a pungent way, not rose water-like either. It's loud, that's for sure, but it's not something that I would say an offensive rose perfume. You see this color. I don't know how to explain it otherwise, but this is how it feels when I'm wearing it. And this is a perfume I'm always in the mood for. And from all the Montale perfumes that I've tried and that I own, this is so far my favorite. It's projecting. People could smell it from afar. It has a little bit of a chypre vibe, like Coco Mademoiselle. I'm not saying they're smelling the same, but it has this tendency to be like, so you need to take that into consideration if you want to purchase this. And if you own it, please let me know how you feel about that too, because that was really surprising me. This is a perfume that one could wear in spring. I would wear it year-round because this is such a rich perfume and it feels very luxurious. I know many people are complaining about the Montale perfumes being synthetic smelling. To my nose, what I hate with the perfumes from Montale though is this. I don't like the way how it's designed. I'm one of those people who have problems feeling a little bit uneasy with the metal, contacting metal, because these are metal bottles. But other than that, I really love it. I'm going to spray this. Oh my god, I really love this one. This is really nice and it smells so clean too. You can tell that you have perfume on. This is so far my favorite from that list and that's why it comes first. But let's move to the next perfume. So next up is Karl Lagerfeld Fleur de Mûrier. There are some flankers of this, Fleur de something, flower of something. The reason why it comes next to this list is this is the one that I expected the least from. And to tell you the truth, when I ordered this with other perfumes, if I got that one, then I get free shipping. And it was really cheap, so that's how I got it. I was so surprised in a very good way. I expected something really generic and I've been judgmental, I have to admit. It came out really nice and clean, but smooth. Very easy scent. It has some sweet blackberry shampoo smell like. Not smelling cheap, but easygoing. Something that you feel like you can wear in springtime when it's a little bit breezy, then you are not offensive, but at the same time, one could notice that you are wearing a perfume. Blackberry, raspberry leaf, red currant, orange blossom, and musk. What stand out the most to me is the blackberry and the musk. And I'm a musky girl. I love musky perfumes. And this is not failing to deliver. It's not staying long on the skin. Maybe you want to take to bed or wear it when you go to the office, when the area where you're working is a little bit tight and then you don't want to offend your co-workers. I think this is really great. A very light perfume, but not too light that it's faint. And it has all these berries. Again, a perfume that is represented by the color. It's a little bit darker by its color in comparison to how I experience wearing it, but I think it's totally safe perfume to wear in a public setting. It's not loud, but not too soft either, just the right amount. So it's my grab and go perfume that I ended up enjoying much more than I thought. So that's Karl Lagerfeld, Fleur de Mûrier. The next one that is coming up is not something I like less. This has been very much surprising to me. I was ordering it because I'm into clean and white sheets perfume, and that one was really surprising in terms of performances and projection. So the perfume I'm talking about is Avon Pur Blanca. This one has been anything but what I expected. I like white florals perfumes. In comparison to the one from Karl Lagerfeld, it was really cheap. I think I got it for $10, and that's not much compared to what I'm getting. This is a 50 milliliter, but for $10, I think one could not complain at all. I'm always having such a soothing mood when I'm wearing this perfume. I like to wear it to bed, but when I want to feel crispy, clean, and you just want to wrap yourself around it, that's how I feel when I'm wearing Pur Blanca. It has sandalwood, water lily, peony. Oh, okay. It has musk, obviously, because as I said, I love musk perfume. And it has white freesia. I just realized that I'm very much into freesia perfumes. So if you're not into it, beware. It's very inoffensive. I have quite a lot of clean perfume. I like most of them quite equally. But this one, with the price range, I think it's a plus. I could see myself wearing this in spring. Oh my God. This is really, really nice. I love it. It smells like you just wash clothes and then you hanged it to the sun, but not in a machine, a dryer. And then the sun was sun-kissing the clothes. And then you've been ironing it. And then it smells so great. It has this faint detergent, but not strong that it smells chemical. It just smells so clean. You know, whenever I'm wearing it, I feel like, I'm the cleanest girl in town. It lasts long, at least 6 hours. For someone who is into clean perfumes, I would go for that one. It's not so expensive. So maybe you want to try it if you don't have it yet. So that was Avon Pur Blanca. The perfume that comes on the 4th position is something that makes me feel a little bit different compared to the 3 first one that I've been talking about. I think it didn't quite match the hype from what I heard. So the perfume I'm talking about is Pivoine Suzhou from Armani Privé. I hope I'm pronouncing it in a proper way. First of all, when you look at the bottle, I mean, who doesn't want to have this kind of perfume? Look at this. It's really nice. It's cute. I think it's a simplistic way of perfume bottle, but yet very luxurious. You know, this simple, but nothing too much kitschy. But you know, I'm not buying a perfume only because of the way it looks. Of course, it's nice on the shelf, but yeah, I want to wear them too, and I want to feel nice about wearing them. And it's not a bad experience that I have of it, but when I think about the prices and what I heard about this, one of the perfume reviewers that I really like to listen and watch is Coco Peps, and I think she was raving about this. And after some time, I just learned that we don't have the same scent taste. Although I still find her very entertaining, so it doesn't stop me from watching her perfume reviews videos because I find them very fun and most of the time a little bit sassy and all that. Anyway, going back to Pivoine Suzhou, I think I was a bit let down because I had so high expectations. I was so influenced. I need to have this, and waiting for the right moment where I could purchase this. And when I had this, I got it delivered. It was in winter time. I think it was crispy and clean and all that. But I was expecting something that moved me a little bit more. It has rose, it has peony. I think it has raspberry too, if I'm not mistaken. It has pink pepper. I do not get that one that much. It has patchouli. Okay, so what I smell is a mixture of peony and patchouli. That's what I get. I'm not saying that it's a bad perfume, but to me, it's a very forgettable one. If somebody would put the perfume on my nose when I'm blindfolded, I would not recognize what kind of perfume it is. That's how much unmoved I am from that perfume, which is a bit sad because I find it really cute. But I mean, cuteness, where does it bring me? I can feel cute with other things, but I want to smell the perfume. I want to have it in a nice way. And yes, you can tell that it's a very refined floral perfume. It can make the difference. But it stays on the skin. I don't know. For me, it lasts long, but it doesn't project at all. Sometimes I want to smell nice and I want to share it with the surrounding. And I do not feel like it's projecting that much. And I have other perfumes more or less with the same scent profile that projects much more, that are more performing in general, and that are less expensive too, because these are not the cheaper ones. I think it's very safe in springtime. If you want to have something regular, rose, peony like perfume, a little bit enhanced by the patchouli, can go for Pivoine Suzhou, but otherwise, I do not see myself wearing it. The next perfume I'm going to talk about is coming on the 5th position, not because I like it less compared to the perfumes I've been talking about before, but exactly quite the opposite. When I said that I was feeling let down by Pivoine Suzhou from Armani Privé, this perfume is exactly exuding what I would expect from Pivoine Suzhou and how I was imagining it when I heard so much reviews about this, because this is the next level rose perfume. And the perfume I'm talking about is Chloé L'Eau. This is the Eau de Toilette version, but to be honest, it's performing as well as Eau de Parfum. It stays well on my skin, it's projecting well. It has rose, grapefruit, lychee, magnolia, oak moss, and cedarwood. What stands out the most is, to me, the rose and grapefruit. I love orangey-like perfumes. I'm not a fan of the Chloé, the original one, because I find it a little bit screechy. But this one doesn't. I could imagine people a little bit thrown back when they smell this, because if you're not into the Nomade or the Parfum from Chloé, then this is slightly going into that direction, but it doesn't screech. From my experience, this is just the right way. It feels so juicy, a little bit woody, slightly green. I think it's the right balance of rose and greenness and orange-like all together, and then it's wrapped in a floral way, and the grapefruit is just making this fizzy. As I said, that's what I would have expected from Pivoine Suzhou, and for whatever reason, coincidence, I ordered them together. And when I was smelling this, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This perfume is really amazing. Wow, I'm surprised by how long it's lasting on my skin and how much it's projecting. Oh, this is really fizzy. Fizzy like champagne, but not alcoholic, not at all. It's very bright, it's fruity, it's floral, and it's not too sweet, but it's slightly green. And I think that's the reason why I'm really enjoying that one. The greenness of this perfume is what makes me never having enough of it. I would suggest wearing this in springtime. You are likely to get compliments. I didn't get compliments from it, but to be honest, I don't care, because I really enjoy this perfume. And is it a safe blind buy? I would say yes, because I do not see anyone who would be offended by this unless you are overspraying. It was not the cheapest, but it's definitely a great value of perfume in comparison to other perfumes that are a little bit more expensive, but that are not giving. I also like Rose Tangerine, the flanker. They deliver more or less the same thing and both likable, but I chose this one because I think this is one that surprised me. I would wear this from the warmest to the coldest spring. I would not wear it in wintertime because it doesn't have enough boldness that I would want it to have. And neither would I wear it also in summertime because it might be a bit offensive for people around you. But for me, I don't care. I do not feel offended at all, even if I'm wearing it in summertime. There are other fresh perfumes that you might want to wear. I heard it's compared to the Ex Nihilo Lust in Paradise. I never smelled that one, but if it's compared to that one, a very luxurious and expensive perfume, not saying that all expensive perfumes are great in terms of performances, but I could make assumption that if this is compared to Ex Nihilo perfumes, then it should give you some ideas of where it's ranging from. At least for me, this is great perfume and totally safe to wear every day. I like to douse myself in this, and sometimes I'm afraid that I'm offending, but yeah, that's how much I like it. So that's Chloé, L'Eau Eau de Toilette. So let's move. We still have 2 to go. The next perfume, there's this one. Gucci Guilty Elixir pour Femme. This is one of a heartbreak for me because I was introduced to this perfume when I was in Paris at the duty-free section, and the salesman came to me. He was just like, oh, maybe you want to try this one. And I was so amazed. I was so happy. I said, wow, that's really my type of perfume. I didn't buy it at that time, but I was keeping it in mind. And then I was saying, someday I'm going to buy it. And after some weeks, I ordered it. And I was so disappointed when I smelled it the first time. I sprayed it on my skin, not only on paper. I completely loved it. When I brought it home, it was sweeter than I remembered. It's supposed to be an enhanced version of all the Gucci Guilty Parfum. And I was just, I let it sit for months and hoping that it would be better. But I'm still disappointed by this, in particular when I think of the price that I paid for it. It has notes of violet, wisteria, vanilla, patchouli. When I smell it now, you can tell that it's an elixir version of something. That's for sure. It's sweet and I do not get that much of the patchouli. It's more violet. I think the mixture of tonka bean, violet and vanilla is not sitting necessarily well when I compare it to how much amazed I was. It's staying long. I don't know what happens when I was trying it the first time, but the experience that I have is completely different. While it's not necessarily for me, when I compare it to my previous experience, it's still a good one. And it's a solid elixir. Sometimes perfumes have these names, elixir or the parfum, and then it's not really giving. This is definitely giving it, and it projects well too. So that's all I want to say about this. So let's go to the last perfume. From what I read online, it's a solid perfume in terms of projection, performances. But what about the scent itself? The perfume I'm talking about is called Dallah from Xerjoff. Okay, we can maybe all agree the bottle looks so luxurious, so fine. When I was ordering this, I was ordering it with the other flankers of L'Interdit from Givenchy that I'm hoping to have a review about because I'm just so obsessed with them. I have them nearby. I was getting those, the Absolute. I already own L'Interdit Rouge, a favorite of mine, but then I also got Interdit Rouge Ultime. Why I'm showing them all up? Those perfumes from Givenchy have this a little bit incensey note. When you're trying perfumes, I think it's not a good idea trying them all at once and then your brain is just like playing tricks. At least to me, that was what happened. I'm into incensey perfumes. I like tobacco perfumes. This is the epitome of tobacco fragrance. I was first spraying those from Givenchy on papers, and then that was the last one that I was opening. And I was spraying it. I think I got nose blind that I didn't know anymore. And all I could smell was the Givenchy line. I was spraying 3 of them, which I just got from the same order. And when I was spraying Golden Dallah, I didn't smell anything anymore. I was so pissed. I was really angry. I was like, what is that? Just cannot be. This is the most expensive from the whole order. And that's the one that I cannot smell. And as I said, they all have this tendency to be a little bit smoky, incensey-like. I'm into incensey smell and smoky, but this is a little bit too smoky for my taste. I was so disappointed. I didn't know that that was the perfume that I was smelling. Crazy, completely crazy. After some hours, I could still smell Golden Dallah that I thought was the Givenchy. The whole house is smelling so smoky, like pure tobacco. I was checking the note breakdown and it does make sense. So I was taking back the paper where I was spraying Golden Dallah, and mind you, that was 4 hours after, and it was still like smelling very strong of tobacco. And I realized it was this one. And I could smell it after 8 hours. I did my research. People are saying, at least on Fragrantica, yeah, it smells so much of coffee. Coffee was what was driving me. I thought, I'm going to love that one because it has coffee note. I do not get the coffee note. Golden Dallah is like cigarettes, but the most luxurious cigarette smell I could ever think about or imagine. But there's no dirty smell. I personally do not like the smell of cigarettes. No offense to people smoking. You can do whatever you want, but it's just not for me. So I do not get the dark coffee note that people talk about. I just get tobacco style of scent. What I like to do is when I'm spraying this, because this is projecting, it's unisex, but I feel like if a man is wearing this, I think he would be damn sexy. So manly. Whatever masculinity I would picture a man having a certain maturity, very grounded, also having an immaculate hygiene routine, and also very clean, put together, classy. Yeah, that's how I imagine it. As a woman who's wearing this, I think I do not dare wear this alone. I wear this with a strong vanilla smell, so I would feel a little bit flirtatious going to this dark and spicy like. That's how I would feel if I'm wearing Golden Dallah. All in all, it's not a perfume that I would say I'm disappointed with, because I was mistaken. I thought I didn't smell it, but actually this is the only thing that I could smell when I was trying it. That's so strong. This will pair well with vanilla or tonka bean perfumes or coffee perfumes. I think this will enhance this much more. It will give a feminine touch to it. So that's Golden Dallah from Xerjoff. That's the last perfume that I have in this very different scent profile, yet what they have in common is that I was very much surprised. And I think that's also what's important, having different kinds of experiences. So it's never boring. That's what I'm expecting from perfume, that it doesn't make me feel bored. And that's all about this reviews. I hope to see you the next time. And if you hang on till the end, thank you. That is very much appreciated. And I hope to see you, or at least I hope that you would enjoy the next video. So until next time, bye bye. Fellow me.